What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's Brendan and I'm BT17, and today we're coming at you with another video. We have our market analysis for the Digimon TCG like we do every Friday, Saturday. Today's Friday. We're going to be looking at some prices here on tournament stuff, on cards that are doing well in the format. Now that we've had EX6 for a couple weeks, we're going to be looking at some cards that might be doing well into next format when we get BT17, which is coming out first week of August, I believe somewhere near August 9th, with pre-release hitting us right around the beginning of August, around the 3rd. So yeah, no, we're going to be checking it out, seeing what we see for prices, see what's good to buy, what's good to sell right now, like we always do. And hey, if you enjoy this type of content, be sure to smash that like button, comment down below. We love to hear your thoughts. Subscribe to the channel and hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss a single minute of fun. Getting right into it here, we have our Event Pack 6 we're looking at again. Prices on the Event Pack 6 are pretty low for most things. You got a couple outliers in Dark Nightmon and Belphamon. Still haven't pulled one of these, but we got some more packs coming from the tournaments we're doing this month and next, so maybe we'll get one. Otherwise, we're going to have to be looking for the most expensive card in this set. Definitely with this stuff, if you want to pick it up, I would say pick up this stuff. It's all under $4. Probably get it for dirt cheap. Whereas these two cards here, I might wait until we get through the Gen Con events and see how the pricing goes. This card was down at $15 at one point. It could drop below that again. This card, you know, has kind of always been sticking at this value, but you could see it around the end of the event pack's life hit the same kind of price. So I would hold off on these ones. And we will be looking at the Ultimate Cup pricing since next week, probably, since we just got announced new Ultimate Cup pricing from October to February. So we're not getting the Agunimon stuff in the second half like I thought we were, but we're going to be looking into that as we kind of see how that changes the value of the current Ultimate Cup stuff, seeing that we only have a couple more Ultimate Cups, one this month, one next month, online anyways, and then the in-person ones, and I think there's another in-person one at the end of August, so we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, no, that is it for that stuff. Let's get into the meat of it. We have Lucemon Chaos Mode starting us off. Expensive card. This card was last week when I did the market analysis. I believe it was down at 45. Within a day, it jumped up, doubling its price to 70, like 75. I think it was even higher than that. It's kind of sitting around this $70 mark here. This card is so good in so many decks, and I think right now, if you have this card, it's probably the time to sell. I haven't seen it really do much since last week. I think it could probably go down a little bit, but right now it's super expensive and super hard to find. There's lots of copies for sale here, but I know in Canada here it's just a little bit harder to find this card. But yeah, so I definitely think it's the right time to sell this card. Really great card, and it's going to probably stay high with the, you know, things like 7 Demon Lords. We have other support like Lucemon Satan mode coming in BT18. So I definitely think this card is going to maintain some good value here for you. We also have the regular super, which is almost $25. So if you have this, sell it. It's your best super. If you're opening the box, you want to pull this guy as much as you can. Another card that's kind of jumped up in price here is Beelzemon from EX6. The alternate art is now up at $55. It was kind of sitting around that $25 to $30 mark, and it has almost doubled as well. This card's also really good in the Beelzemon deck because it has Rush, so you can warp that Impmon that you play and have Rush right away. You could potentially even attack and Digivolve into a X-Antibody for game if you have enough mills. It's really, really good. So I can understand why it's gone up. Really great card. So definitely sell that if you have to. On the other side of it, though, we have Agunimon, the boss monster of the 7 Demon Lords deck. He's kind of gone down quite a bit. He's kind of gone down by half the value since release. He was up around $70, now sitting down here at 35 to 40. So it might be the time to pick up this guy. I think you could potentially go down a little bit more. You might want to wait a little bit. Could see just a little bit under 30, but I don't think he's going to go down too much more than that. We've seen 7 Demon Lords at least topping like 1 or 2 decks topping in the top 16, so probably will stay with some kind of value. You only need 2 of it really to play the deck effectively, so I can see why it has dropped so much. Whereas you need like 3 to 4 Lucimon, you need 4 Beelzemon. So Mastimon Ace, low pull rate. This is the best low pull rate you can get from the set. I was lucky enough to pull 2 of them, and we sold them for $350 each. So it's a pretty good price. You know, definitely seeing it here $450 with, you know, have some sales at $450, $360, $300. It's still making massive amounts of profit for the people selling it. So if you get this card, I definitely would sell it. And potentially probably wait if you're looking to buy, unless you just don't care because you really want these super nice cards, and they are really nice cards. Alternatively, we have the regular alt for Mastimon. It's kind of sitting around the $35 mark, and it's kind of stayed in between the 30 and 40 mark where it kind of was when the set released. So that's kind of nice. We'll see. We haven't had I don't think we've had any Mastimon's top, so this could potentially go up if it does top. So I think, you know, it's not a bad price right now to buy. You might want to wait to see if it goes down, you know, to like that $30 mark, but I think it'll keep pretty good value here. Ace cards are just crazy nuts with pricing because they're just so easy to play. And then we have we have Mirai. I was looking at Mirai here. So we have both the alternate and the regular. The regular sitting around 40. Alternate still kind of up at 70, but it's come down quite a bit from where it started, around like $190 to $100. So it's come down to that, you know, just below 70, $65 range. This card's a card you need at least 3 copies for the deck. I know I only pulled 2 of the regular secret from my 8 boxes, so I mean that doesn't help there. So definitely think you probably want to think about, if you're planning on playing the deck, you might want to pick up a couple copies of this. Of course, like I said, the other secret's only around the $40 mark, so it's a lot cheaper. This one here, still maintaining a lot of good value there. Probably a good time to sell this still, because I think it'll probably come down a little bit more. We could see it go to 60, maybe even under. But yeah, keep that in mind. Lilithmon's kind of keep going down, which is a good thing. I think like you want to watch this and kind of see when it plateaus. When it plateaus, you want to buy that, because I think it's going to go up the closer we get to Lilithmon X-Antibody, because I think this is going to be good with the X-Antibody support that's coming out for Lilithmon. So definitely keep an eye on this. It's such a great card, and you know, really great artwork as well. So just keep that in mind there. Another Lucimon, the Lucimon level 3 from EX6. It's kind of come down $30. You might want to think about picking this up. I could see this card. This is a really good card in combination with Chaos Mode. So I definitely think that you want to keep an eye on this one too, because this alt spiked right there right after the set came out, went up to 46, but then kind of came back down. So depending on how the other Lucimon goes in price, this could kind of follow suit. Right now, it's not a bad price right now, I don't think, but definitely keep an eye on it. It could probably still come down to about that $25 range, but it just depends. You got to be very careful because things change at a moment's notice sometimes. Valkyrie's Ace, a really good card for Numemon and other decks that can easily go into yellow or red. It was up there, I think around like $60. It's finally kind of cooled off here. It was like $40, $50 a little while ago, and it's kind of cooling off here, coming down past $40 for once. So we're seeing it at a decent price for once. Do only got like a few copies, and that's back up around 40. So depending on how the format does and what decks get played. I know somebody did top, or not, was it topped? I don't know if they topped with a Sylphimon deck. I think there was a top with a Sylphimon deck, but so you could see this card do crazy things again. But right now it's starting to cool off, so keep an eye on it, because I'd probably try and wait to see if it can get down to like 35 or a little bit lower before picking up copies. Imperial Dramon topped, I think, the event I was in, and I know there was a couple tops in, I don't know if it was Oceania or the UK, but the other event that was going on. So that was cool. So we're seeing here, this guy's kind of coming back up here. He's, it was around $20. Now it's coming up around $25, $30. So you might want to try and sell this now while the going is good. We'll see how it continues to perform in the next couple weeks. And then we have your low pull rate dragon mode, which is unfortunately super expensive. I would love to get copies of these cards, but it's just way too much. Still around $200 a copy. And I personally like play sets, but like if you wanted to, you only need like 2 or 3 of this. So, but still, that's still $600 at that point. So definitely like this is an expensive card, especially if you want to max rarity your deck. Comparatively though to the regular copy, which is just in the cents. So Pyeldramon, another great card for the deck. It's kind of had its ups and downs, but it's still kind of maintaining like that $50 to $60 value. Last sold here is $60, with copies going up to 65, and there's not many copies either. So this could see an easy buyout and be up to $65, $70 in no time. So, you know, think about selling your copies of this, especially if these last couple copies sell. Of course, you have the Super again, another super expensive Super, $20. Really good. Like if you are still opening boxes of BT16, this is the card you want. This is going to make you your return on investment. Pyeldramon, the Tamer Party one, still pretty expensive. It's a $20 card. If you, like I said, if you want that max rarity in Pyeldramon, it's, you know, there's lots of copies, looks like, though, so, and you only need a couple copies for the deck. Davis and Ken, another really good alt. It's not only good in Pyeldramon, but I've seen people playing in all fours. You could play it in a lot of decks as long as you have a VMon engine, basically. This is good in a lot of decks. Still super high, $50. You have a couple lower sales right here, but generally trending upwards of kind of like that $50 mark, and then kind of going up to 60 if you have a few sales there. So again, the deck's doing good. So this is going to be an expensive card, just like Pyeldramon, because it's super important. You need 4 of it. Ukamon's still really good in Numamon and other decks. So we're still looking at the Ukamon stuff. This card's kind of been cooling down. I think it was up around 60 to begin with, 60, 50, and it's finally coming down into that $40 to $50 range. I could probably see this card coming down a little bit more, maybe $43, $40 even. But I think right now, like, there's a lot of decks that still use this, so it could just kind of sit around here for a while. It just depends what the top decks are. Like if the top decks keep Pyeldramon and other decks that don't play this keep topping, I think this will go down. So you'll have to like watch what's getting top. Like if Numamon, it keeps, you know, performing over 50% of the meta, this is going to go up. And same with this guy. This is the max rarity of him. The other ones are actually a lot cheaper, so don't worry about it. But if you want a max rarity, your Ukamons, he's sitting around $25 easy, and could change depending, like I said, on the format. Merciful Mode's had a bit of a resurgence here. It's kind of gone up. You can see it trending upwards because with so many decks that rely on stuff in your trash, this card's really good against that. It says, you know, hey, let me put 10 cards back into your deck, and you just kind of cry a little bit there. So this card's seen a bit of a resurgence in price. So maybe if you don't have your copies, might be time to pick them up. It's still not that bad. It's under $20. But I mean, I think if decks like 17 Lords continue to do good, I think this will be a definite like kind of floodgate card against that. So it could see, you know, could go up above $20. Another deck that kind of surprised me in the regionals was Jesmon. I was like, holy crap, like what's a Jesmon GX worth? And it's alternate art's worth $40. It is trending downwards, but still an expensive card, GX. So that's a good card, super good. Plus the Magnamon to play the deck too is kind of makes it pricey. But of course, if you're already playing Magnamon, you don't have to worry about that. But it's finally kind of come down past that $100 range, and we're down into the $90 range. I'm hoping that this kind of goes down to 80 or a little bit more, but this card's still expensive, and you know, I think it'll be holding on to its value for a long time. The invulnerability of this card is ridiculous. We have Angelomon, something you might play in Mastimon or might not, but still, if you're playing Yellow Vaccine, you're probably playing this card. Still sitting around $50. I know it's like kind of shows it's kind of coming down, but this card's been 50 to 60 to 50 to 60 to 50 to 60. So it's kind of staying in that range. So this is always a good card to sell because you're probably getting your money's worth regardless if it's 50 to 60. It just depends. Sometimes you plus more. So this is definitely a card that's always good to sell, and it's kind of always, you got to pick those times in which to, pick up a copy. If you can get someone to sell you a copy for like 45, I would take it because it's just such an expensive card all the time. And then lastly, we have our kind of funny card, like usual. Card that I think is still really great. Of course, it's banned to 1 is Anubismon. I'm actually playing this in my Mastimon deck because I think it's cool. But it's just funny because like the alt art is worth nothing. And I think part of this is because this card is a little bit underwhelming at 1. Like when there's 4 of it, it's overwhelming. But at 1, it's underwhelming. And this is kind of where I feel like Bandai needs to think about things like semi-limiting. Maybe if this card was at 2, you might see a lot more play. You might see more copies of it being played and still not be, like I said, overwhelming. So we'll see what happens. But it's still a really great card. But it's just funny that the alt is just $5 because this card was busted when it came out. But yeah. That is it for the market analysis, guys. Tell me what you guys think. Did we cover a lot of good cards? Did we really look at the format and what's happening with it? Or is there stuff we missed? If there's stuff we missed, let me know in the comments. That way I can do better next time. Looks like that's all the time we have for this video. Thank you very much for tuning in, and we hope to see you in the next video. As always, have a wonderful day. And that's all for now, folks.